Radio. Raheem with the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi. You are here for a magical night come Saturday. You've been in the sport of boxing a long time. I've been watching it for a very long time. When was the last time you remember a heavyweight title bout having this much importance and carrying this much excitement?
Yeah, I think this is when worlds collide, so to speak. You know, I was at Klitschko versus David Haye in Germany, and I was in a stadium. But I feel like there's the pressure of all of England and the pressure of the heavyweight division, of the future of the heavyweight division on Joshua's shoulders. You know, when it was Haye and Klitschko, it was more of a Klitschko was more in his prime, Haye was more in his prime, and it was more like, oh, can he knock him off? You know, this time it's more about changing of the guard, and Joshua had almost, I feel like, this pressure, like where he's got to take out the old champion and do it in style, and also the question mark remains: is he the future of the heavyweight division? You know, a lot of question marks around this fight, and I think that's why he's getting so much notoriety.
Is Klitschko an old champion just trying to reclaim one more night of glory, or does he have a career ahead of him, even if he wins this fight?
I'm not sure. You know, I think it's hard to get into the head of Vladimir Klitschko. You've been off 18 months. You're 41 years old. We all age differently. It'll be interesting to see how Vladimir has aged, because you really can't tell until he's in the ring.
You're a newly retired fighter. How does a fighter know when it's time to cash it in? And when you face a younger guy like this who you know has the potential to carry your division, what's the mentality going in?
I think you realize you got to catch it in when, you know, your desire, your passion leaves your body. You know, you kind of feel that. You know, having said that, you know, you take on the young lion, you try to match his enthusiasm, his passion. You just can't, though. So you try to use it against him. You try to set traps for him where maybe he'll be over enthusiastic and whatnot. That's the thing about Joshua, though. He never gets over enthusiastic. He's pretty well balanced mentally and physically, but we'll see.
He's clearly not faced anyone with this kind of experience before, and this is a huge step up in experience and class. What makes you think he's ready if you do, and how do you know when a fighter is ready to take a move like that?
It's just progression. You know, it was time to progress to this level. You know, Joshua has a piece of the heavyweight title, so the progression has to happen, and obviously this fight makes all the sense in the world, and everybody bought into it, because they wouldn't have sold 90,000 seats if everybody didn't also believe in this.
Look, I'm flying right out of here, right into Las Vegas. You got to give me your prediction on Canelo Chavez, and why?
I just think Canelo's a different level. You know, I think Chavez is taking it seriously. I follow everything I hear. I think he'll be ready. I just don't think he's good enough. I think it comes down to, you know, he's going to be naturally bigger than Canelo, and that'll be a little bit of an advantage. But I think Canelo's just better than him, and that's bottom line. It's pretty simple. He's just a better fighter.
You're an Italian American. You've had, you know, the fans coming out. You're supporting you based on being Italian and having that as an inspiration. Chavez couldn't be more that kind of guy with the Chavez name, trying to grow into his father's shoes and being disappointed and a disappointment early in his career. Does any of that motivation, any of that reality, you think, play out in the ring and give him a bigger fire or better chance than he would have otherwise had?
Yeah, he can have a lot of desire. I think he's training hard. I think he's motivated. But dude, this isn't video games. You got to be better. You got to be good. To win, you got to be good. Chavez is there because he's Chavez, not because he's good. You know, he's Chavez's son, not because he's good. I think he's a good kid. I think if he takes it seriously, he gives himself at least an honest day's worth of work, an honest night's fight. You know, but I don't think he's world class. I think he's lacking in a lot of the fundamentals, even a lot of the skills. I think if his name wasn't Chavez, he wouldn't be at this level or anywhere near it. But having said that, you know, I wouldn't just say, okay, you know what, let's hate on him and you know, he's going to come in there, he's going to try his hardest. I just don't think he's good enough to win, and it's pretty simple.
Last time I was here was Brook Triple G. That was a hell of a fight. Obviously, we know how it turned out, but then we saw Triple G in what is a very close fight with Danny Jacobs. I haven't had a chance to talk to you since then. How'd you feel about that decision, and do you think that there are cracks in Triple G's armor, or is he, the big word, exposed based on what we saw with Brook? and Jacobs?
You know, Triple G is the goods. Jacobs is also the goods. That's all that was about. They're both good fighters. You got to put on a hell of an effort to do what Danny Jacobs did. You can't just, I don't think you didn't just expose anything in that fight, because you better come good to get Triple G to look like that. And Danny proved that he's the one that has the goods more so than Triple G is in there lacking.
Lastly, Brooke Spence. How do you see it? And is Spence up to the challenge of facing Brooke? Does he have this kind of skill set that it requires?
Yeah, I think they're both up to the challenge. I think it's the best fight in boxing right now. It's my favorite fight on the schedule. That fight will be explosive.
Who do you got?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's close. I don't know.
It's tough for me to ask you a question and you don't know or don't have a pick in a fight. That lets you know how good the Spence-Brooke fight is, how close it is. Thank you, Paulie Malignaggi. I always love your breakdowns, man. You're a wonderful voice ringside. Radio Raheem with the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi.